Welcome back, everybody, to another KC Sports Report live stream. And as always, we're going to have a jam-packed show for everybody. We're going to get over talking about this game upcoming on Sunday. We're going to give you our Week 9 predictions and cover everything Chiefs related. But I see that we already got some people in here, so I'm glad to see that. I'm going to get to everybody's questions tonight. I know I've done a pretty poor job of that in previous streams. I'm pretty good towards the beginning, but once we go over the predictions, I kind of get lost. So I'm going to make sure that I cover everything that you guys want to know and more. So going over the game, there are a few key points that I've just been thinking about for a while now. And the major concern that I have is the Chiefs are going to treat this like a trap game. I think that for whatever reason, the Panthers are much better than their 3-5 record portrays. I just think that they're just a better team. And like somebody said in the comments, Christian McCaffrey is coming back from injury. So when you pair the run stopping ability of the Chiefs defense, which I might add is 30th in the entire NFL, with Christian McCaffrey, one of the best all-around running backs in the game of football, you might have a problem. And you know, he is coming off of injury, so he might not be prime Christian McCaffrey, but Christian McCaffrey is a beast, so you cannot underestimate him because he'll torch us for 200 yards on the ground. I mean, he's that good. He might get 200 yards on the ground and then maybe 100 in scrimmage. I mean, he's that good, but they cannot treat this like a trap game, and as long as they can play Chiefs brand football, they're going to destroy the Panthers. It's just that simple. Nobody can hang with this Chiefs team, and the Panthers, even though I think they're better than a lot of people think, the Chiefs are just by far a better team. All right, so I see Tony in the comments. What's up, Tony? Edward Bright. Mahomes is going to go ham on these man and little Mighty Mouse. Clyde is going to go crazy. You know, I think that Clyde's either going to have a big game or Mahomes is going to have a big game. I can't see both happening, but, you know, something that I might cover in a different video is Mahomes really catapulted himself into the MVP conversation, whether you want to admit it or not. I think that 5 touchdown, 400+ yard performance against the Jets really put his name into the MVP conversation. Whether he's there yet, that's up for debate. I think that it's still Russell Wilson, but I'm very happy with how he's performing right now. And I think that if he has another game or two like he did against the Jets, he's going to be the MVP. And I got some numbers that I'm probably going to cover in a different video because there's just so many different stats that I want to throw out there. And that's probably better fit for a different video. But just know that I'm going to probably have a video dropping maybe over the bye week about if Mahomes is an MVP candidate. But I want to promo everything right now. You can follow us on Instagram. That's at KC_sports report. As always, you can support the channel through the super chat. You can donate to the channel, but if you don't want to do that, you just can subscribe, and that helps out the channel just as much. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a good game, and as long as the Chiefs don't take their opponent lightly, the Chiefs should win. They really should. But again, they cannot take this game like a trap game, or we're going to lose. Have you heard whether Daniel Kilgore is a permanent fixture in the offensive line at center for the rest of the season? I've never been a fan of Austin Ryder. Plus, I love what Kilgore brings. You know, I think they're happy with what Kilgore brings. I really do. His run pro, it's very good. He's just a big body that can just manhandle these defensive linemen and open up holes. I really see Daniel Kilgore's role kind of like a Stefan Wisniewski, where he didn't start initially last year, but once Ryder kind of had some trouble, they brought Wisniewski in, and he started in the Super Bowl. So I can kind of see Kilgore taking over that role, and I wouldn't be shocked if that's a permanent fixture, at least for the season. Because, I mean, Kilgore's a good player. I'm going to give him that. Christian McCaffrey scares me against our run D. You know, I think that that's a good point, and it's definitely something that you have to be somewhat concerned about. But as we saw last year, in order for the Panthers, in my opinion, to beat us, they're going to have to sell out on the run game. And you know, Christian McCaffrey's coming off of injury. And like we saw in the AFC Championship game, if the Chiefs have to commit to something fully, they'll do it. I mean, it's just that simple. Derrick Henry only had 69 yards in the AFC Championship game, when in the previous two playoff games, this man had like 200 yards plus. So if the Chiefs fully commit to stopping the run, they'll stop the run. They're just going to stack the box and make sure CMC does not torch us on the ground. But what makes CMC so good is he could potentially be more of a threat in the screen game and the in the flat. So I mean, this is all stuff that you got to worry about. But Robbie Anderson's a good weapon. DJ Moore, I think, is their weapon. I don't know a whole lot about their offensive pieces, but I know that Robbie Anderson's been pretty good. So as long as the Chiefs can come in with a good game plan, they should win this game. They really should. What's up, Tony? Glad to see you tonight. Let's see. Oh, I do want to mention really quickly that for everybody that saw my video yesterday, some people say I jumped the gun. I thought Chris Jones was going to be out a lot longer. But I stand corrected. I'm not going to be complaining about that because at least we got him for the long run. What's up, Andy Rod? I say Clyde has a big game because of the Panthers blogs I've read this week. The Panthers play a lot of soft zone. Yeah, but if a lot of soft zone, that means Pat's going to attack that. If they play soft zone, I expect Kelsey and Tyreek to have monster games. And, like I said in my video yesterday, Sammy Watkins is coming back from injury. So is Anthony Sherman. So we're getting some offensive pieces back. And I think that if they play soft coverage on us, they're not going to win. They can't do that. They just can't. And Mahomes is just going to torch him if he does. Mahomes is top 3 in statistical stuff and throws 31 times per game, which an average throws 35, so he throws less than an average QB. Yeah, I mean, I think that the running game is just proven this year that we can win in multiple different ways, whether it's running the ball, whether it's throwing the ball, whether it's special teams defense. The Chiefs have shown that they can win in any way possible. And I think that's why they're just an overall better team this year than they were last year. And that's a scary thought, Chiefs Kingdom. It really is. Let's see. Clyde should put up 150 plus yards versus the Panthers D. He could, but if the Panthers play soft coverage or soft zone coverage, Mahomes might literally throw for 6 touchdowns. We've seen it before. If you don't play, how do they beat him? I guess they play a semi-soft coverage, but the problem is they don't bring the linebackers back into coverage. And if they blitz Mahomes, like we've seen many times previously, Mahomes is fantastic against the blitz. It's just, he's that good. So it's going to be interesting to see how they attack him. But I think that we're going to have to see what our defense performs like. Because like IKEA Country says, we're getting back L'Jarius Sneed, which is very good for our defense because he's been a very good man corner this year, and we could use that against some of their bigger receivers. I remember Mahomes saying after the game against the Jets that the shovel pass to Kelsey had a specific name, but it's slipping my mind. Do you know by any chance? I think I was listening to that too. I can't remember what he called it. I remember him saying, though, it was just open. Yeah, I mean, it was just an underhand shovel pass that I think I just remember him saying, well, he was open, so might as well throw to him. But, that's something that we saw in Baltimore when he did it to Anthony Sherman. So he's done it before, and it's obviously a play that he's comfortable with, but it just makes Mahomes even harder to beat. He's just got so many different ways to beat opposing teams. Praying for Chris Jones. Well, I was completely wrong about Chris Jones. I've heard that he's going to play this Sunday. How that's even possible after he got added to the COVID list, I'm not sure, but he did. So I stand corrected, but I'm still getting better at this stuff. I should probably do read into it a little bit more. I mean, I heard the news, read into it a little bit. I was just like, all right, I got to record something right now. But if Chris Jones did end up getting it, I would have been early, and my prediction would have been okay. So, I'm getting better at it, but I'm not right all the time. our defense is top 5 technically. I think our defense is top 5 scoring wise. Like we give up the fewest amount of points, but we gotta narrow down those yards because I say that it doesn't matter if we give up 700 yards on the ground, but in all reality, even if they score 14 points, but they milk 40 minutes off the clock, that is a concern. It really is. So I think that they've got comfortable to the point where they can stop people in the red zone, but they need to stop the running game and stop passing plays when they get to midfield, because we saw it last week. Sam Darnold, I think, is a better quarterback than a lot of people think, but he was very good until they got to the red zone. He was very good. So they need to get better at playing good defense from when opposing teams are on their side of the field. I'd say the Chiefs win 38-17. For whatever reason, I think this game is going to get closer because, like I said, I think this is going to be a trap game. The Chiefs are 7-1. The Panthers are 3-5, but they're a much better team than a lot of people give them credit for. I think it's going to be closer because CMC is going to have a bigger game than a lot of people think. Do you think Mahomes is being overlooked a little? I wouldn't say overlooked because, in my opinion, other than that Jets game, he was good, but he wasn't an MVP candidate, at least in my opinion. So I don't think he's being overlooked, but he's playing pretty good now. And I think that if he has a couple more of those Jets games, he'll get MVP. I think that's what's going to happen. Legarius hasn't been activated off the IR yet, but he's been practicing. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play this week. But, at least he's back at practice because that collarbone stuff, you don't want to mess with it. But, one player that I've been kind of disappointed in so far this year, this is kind of random, but I've been pretty disappointed in Frank Clark. I don't know if he's struggling through some sort of injury. I don't know if he's just getting figured out, but he's not really being effective. And, maybe this is the same situation as last year where my man's just injured and he's scared to tell anybody, or maybe he's having that pinched nerve come back to bite him. So, it's a long season. You're going to get banged up. And when Frank Clark is healthy, good Lord, the man's a tank. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he is I go as far to say he's a top 10 defensive lineman when he's playing at his best. He's that good. He's a very good edge rusher, but we got to get somewhat of a pass rush when you got guys like Teddy Bridgewater that are kind of elusive. That he kind of is. So as long as we take this game kind of like we're playing a Lamar Jackson, he's not as mobile, but Teddy Bridgewater can get around. He's a bit banged up. He got hurt against the Falcons, which the Panthers did lose to. But like I said, the Panthers are a better team that a lot of people are going to give them credit for. So we got to take them seriously, and if we do that, we should win. But I think that the keys to the game is you got to stop CMC. He's coming back from injury. You hit him hard, and you get him a little bit off balance to start the game. I'm not saying go injure him, but make sure that he knows that you're in Arrowhead Stadium and you're going to get hit hard for 60 minutes. Make him a little bit get in his head. Get in his head. That's what you got to do. Get in his head and make him worried that he might get injured again. I mean, you got guys like Big Mike Pennell, Derek Nottie, Keyshawn Wharton, who has been very good at stopping the run this year, which has been a name that I didn't even know existed to start the year. So the Chiefs got the pieces. It's just, can they impose their will? So, this is actually a very good comment. Frank hasn't been looking 100% healthy this year, and he needs to have a breakout game. So maybe it's this week, but I can't see it happening just because he didn't really hit his stride till after the bye week. And, that's why this game is so important, because we win this game, We go into the bye week at 8-1. We go to Las Vegas after our bye week, and hopefully we can get our revenge. I am very excited for that. I'm very excited for that. Going over my notes, I mentioned Chris Jones didn't have COVID. He got added to the list, but I jumped the gun again. I'm sorry for that, but I think I'm trying, dude. I've been working really hard on the videos. I'm putting out 2 to 3 a week, live streaming. Well, 2 to 3 videos during Monday through Friday, live streaming on Friday, recaps on Sunday. I'm working for you guys. I'm really trying to document a Chiefs championship season because, I go back and I look at last year's videos and I think that I'm getting much better, but I look back to the stuff that I was making in November of last year, and I'm proud to say that I was doing good stuff, and I want to do the same thing this year, but get even better. That's my goal. That's my goal right now. Michael, the game that I'm looking forward to this season is when the Chiefs go to Allegiant Stadium Sunday night. It should be a great game and looking forward to it. I don't even know what Allegiant Stadium is, man. I couldn't tell you. I know Arrowhead and some of the other stadiums around the league, but I don't know that one. I'm assuming that is the Bucs Stadium, but I could be wrong. We go to Hard Rock later this year, which should be fun as well. You don't know how much I'm looking forward to that Las Vegas game. Sunday Night Football, off a bye, on a road. We've got it. Dude, Andy Reid coming off a bye. I don't think there's anybody else that I would rather have. I really don't. I think that Andy Reid's going to be scheming for this game. Patrick Mahomes, and this is what I love about him. Patrick Mahomes just carries this mantra, this swagger, this sense of boss mentality. I don't even know what to say. I mean, he's all around the perfect quarterback. I think he's going to go into Vegas. He's going to rally his team, and we're just going to dominate this team and end this so-called Raiders playoff hopes. I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it. One thing, if you have time later, you can talk about your midseason playoff predictions, like search up the bracket and predict each game. That's a very good idea. I might have to, I'll get into that with Village Boy. When he comes on to give our predictions, we'll get into that. That's a very good idea. We'll do that later on this stream. That's a good idea. Le'Veon Bell is going to have a breakout game too. I don't think Le'Veon's going to have a game, at least in the rushing game, where he just wows you. I mean, he'll get some carries on 3rd and 4th downs. He'll move the chains, but he's not going to have like 150-plus yard games, at least in the pass or in the rushing game. I can see him getting 150 yards of all-purpose, but I can't see him getting a big chunk on the ground because Clyde, in my opinion, is the guy you go to on first, second, and occasionally 3rd downs, but he's a guy that gets in between the tackles with his speed. He's just so small that he kind of just squeaks through everybody else, and he's a good running back to have. And, Le'Veon, I don't think that he's completely lost it. I think he's got a lot left in the tank, but he's not going to be the old Le'Veon Bell because Le'Veon Bell in Pittsburgh was not only one of the best running backs we've seen in the past 10 years, but they leaned on Le'Veon Bell, and we don't have to lean on him. And that's just the luxury of having so many offensive weapons. Oh, thanks for letting me know that, Cole. Thanks for letting me know that. The game of the year will be Bucs Chiefs. The Chiefs know how good of a team they are, and they will not underrate them. I legitimately can see the Chiefs going 15-1. I don't want to get overconfident. We might drop this game. We could drop this game, Chiefs game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. If we don't take it seriously, I've been saying it for a long time. This is a trap game. I don't think we're going to lose it, but this, in all sense of the word, this is a trap game, and we cannot take it lightly. So I think that as long as we come into this game with the mentality to just impose our will, we'll be fine. But if we don't, I mean, I think that the Panthers are a better football team than a lot of people are going to give them credit for. Somebody just told me that Frank Clark's leg is swelling up. So that that would explain why he's been kind of struggling. But I've been kind of noticing that we haven't had much of a pass rush, at least like we did last year. But you know, I think that that's going to only improve over time. I think the highest probability game to lose on the rest of the schedule is the Saints. You know, I actually disagree with you. I think the highest probability of us losing would be against the Bucs because the Saints don't get it twisted. The Saints are an okay football team, but when you look at the teams that they've beaten and by the margin that they've beaten them by, they haven't beaten the best teams. They lost to the Bucs pretty handily. They lost to the Packers. I mean, those are two good teams, but I don't see the Saints as a legitimate threat. You know, maybe they could do it because they're at home. It's towards the end of the season. They're going to be motivated to get in the playoffs, but you know, I don't know. I can't see the Chiefs really losing this game. And, you know, I've had this conversation with some friends. I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs for the rest of the year. I don't think there's a team out there that genuinely scares me enough to pick against them. I learned my lesson week 3 against the Ravens that we're a good team. And unless we beat ourselves, we're not going to lose. And I think that it's not a smart decision for us to bet against them because they're just that good. I also think the same thing about the Steelers, but we'll get into that later. Oh, man, the Steelers are a good team. They might go undefeated the rest of the way. They really might. But we'll get into that later. But, man, they're a good team. Oh, man. Let's see. What do you think of the Steelers? Do you think we match up well? I'm going to say this right now. The Chiefs match up well with everybody. There's nobody that can outmatch the Chiefs. We got all the talent in the world. We got all the pieces, but the Steelers match up well. They got a good pass rush. Dare I say the best pass rush in the NFL. You got TJ Watt, Cam Hayward. They're a force. They really are. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, that secondary is no joke. But you know, they've shown that they play a lot of close games. They really do. And the Chiefs can win a lot of close games. When you look at the Steelers' schedule, they really haven't played a ton of great teams. Sure, they beat the Ravens. Sure, they beat the Titans. But when you look at the margin that they beat them by, I can't say that I'm terrified of them because the Chiefs just flat out beat down the Ravens on Monday Night Football, and the Steelers barely beat the Titans and the Ravens. So I think the Chiefs match up very well. And if it's a battle between the offenses, I mean, the Steelers got Claypool, the Steelers got James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington. So they got some offensive pieces, but Big Ben versus Patrick Mahomes, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes to win that game about 9 times out of 10. Whoa. Steelers nearly blew their lead to the Titans and the Ravens. They're a great team, but I don't know if they have enough in the secondary to contain our weapons. You know, I don't know exactly what coverage they play. I haven't really done a ton of research on them. I'll do more for sure, but like you said, their secondary is very good. Kind of reminds me, like I love how I'm talking about the Steel Curtain, like I was alive to witness that. But from the tape and the videos I've seen of the Steel Curtain, that's about as close as they're going to get to it. So I do know that they lost their linebacker in Devin Bush for the year, but that defense is just legit, man. They're the best defense in the NFL. They really are. When we go to Tampa Bay, we're going to make sure to make Tom Brady cry, frankly, on that Monday night game. I was going for the Giants, but though luck, we got a chance to win in Tampa Bay. Chiefs Kingdom. Yep. Honestly, I didn't watch that Monday Night Football game because I thought it was going to be terrible, but the Giants kept it close, and maybe that's a telltale sign that that's a sign that they're beatable. Let's see. They also lost to the Bears, but that's no shock there. If Mahomes goes out and has another 4 TD game with 300-plus passing yards, you really have to start looking at Mahomes being over Wilson in MVP rankings. Yeah, because when you really look at it, Wilson, and I'm not going to get a ton into it because I want to save this for a video, but Wilson has 5 more interceptions. Dude, Mahomes has thrown 1 pick. Mahomes has thrown 21 touchdowns and 1 interception. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, that's like unbelievable. And you know, I'm not going to get over excited because, you know, they might give it to Russell just because he had a better start to the season. But if Mahomes continues to have good games, you can't overestimate him. You really can't. Or underestimate him, I guess. Who would you say is the most underrated player on the Chiefs? I'm not going to say anybody on the offense because the offense is fairly rated in my opinion, but, you know, a guy that I think is very underrated, I got to go with my guy, Big Mike Pennell. And, you know, I would say that Juan Thornhill is very underrated. I don't think that he's getting the snap. You know, Dirty Dan as well. Dirty Dan is a headhunter. I love watching Dirty Dan play, and I think that they're starting to play him up front. And, you know, props to RGR. He kind of explained this in his live stream that I kind of noticed it after he explained it. But Dirty Dan is playing up towards the line of scrimmage, kind of where like a hybrid linebacker slash safety where Tyrann Mathieu played. And I think that Tyrann Mathieu has Dan Sorensen has a lot of honey badger in him. I'm not saying that they're anywhere close, but Dirty Dan is a physical guy that loves to make contact with receivers. He's a turnover machine. He either gets an interception, he jars footballs loose and can force fumbles, and you know you love to see it. You really do. Can't wait till playoff time. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait either. All right, now I'm going to welcome to the stream Chiefs Palace.
Yo, what's up, my guy? Hello?
What's going on, my guy?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Not much. All right, so what do you think about this upcoming game?
This could be a trap game, but I see the Chiefs winning. I think that our defense has been playing good so far this year. Like I said in the comment section earlier, we're a top 5 scoring defense. We only give up 19 points per game, which is 3rd best in the league. I think we're first in takeaways as well. We're also 3rd in pass defense. So the defense is like, it's good. The only issue is with our defense is that we're 30th against the run, but we've shown improvements over the last 2 games that we only given up, I think, 86 point something rushing yards per game in the last 2 weeks. So the run defense is improving. So I think the key in this game is you got to stop Christian McCaffrey. I know he won't be 100% healthy since he's coming back from that ankle injury. But I think that the defense will focus their attention on him because he's the main guy that helps their offense run. I'm not saying that Teddy Bridgewater is a scrub, but he's more like a Alex Smith type of guy. He won't lose you the game, but like when he takes chances, like you saw last week, like they had to push the ball down the field, like he will throw interceptions. Like he's a game manager. He's a game manager guy. So they have I think they have weapons as well. I think they have Robbie Anderson. They have Curtis Samuel. They have
hold on really quick. Robbie Anderson in fantasy has been killing me recently. So if you can pick him up, he's pretty good. But you know, like you said, and you brought this up, and it kind of opened my mind. But this game is important because if we can stop CMC, I know he's coming off of injury, but that's going to give us so much confidence in our run defense.
Yeah. So they have They have DJ Moore. They have Seth Roberts. They have Robbie Anderson. They have Curtis Samuel. Those are the main guys that the Chiefs got to worry about on the offensive side of the ball as well. It's Christian McCaffrey and Teddy Bridgewater. The offensive line is not so good, so I expect Chris Jones. I think he's playing. I think he cleared COVID-19 protocols. And I expect Frank Clark to have a big game as well. Frank Clark has been kind of having a wishy-washy season so far, so I think he'll get to the quarterback in this game.
Yeah, you brought that up. I did too. I don't know where he's been. I kind of noticed this last year, and it made me upset. But I remember going on a rant. I think it was like when we lost to the Texans.
Yeah, I watched the video. I remember.
This man would try to do a swim move, and he'd just get bodied. Like he couldn't do anything. And I think that he's a. I love to see players that start to come into their own and come into stride kind of around this time of the year because, I mean, this is when it matters. And I don't care what you do in the beginning of the season.
Because so far, when I'm looking at the defensive line, all I'm seeing is Chris Jones that's getting the sacks. No, I mean, here and there, like Taco Charlton will get a sack. Who else would get a sack on the defensive line?
Keyshawn Wharton, maybe?
Yeah, Keyshawn Wharton. But it's not really a lot of people beside Chris Jones Mike Dana, he's a rookie. I mean, it's not really Frank Clark. Like, I mean, we paid so much money for this guy, and he hasn't really shown up this year. So, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, the pass rushes, it needs to be better. It needs to be better.
Yeah, you got to put pressure on teams. And, Teddy Bridgewater is kind of a hybrid quarterback. He's smooth and elusive, kind of like Lamar, but he's not quick. I mean, he's got a lot of injuries behind him, but I think that this kind of quarterback is similar to
he's like an Alex Smith.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah, he's like a better. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater reminds me of Alex Smith. He really does. He won't lose you the games, but you got to have weapons around him for him to win in a good defense. And as you're seeing right now in Carolina, they were playing really well. They were like 3-3 until they faced, I believe, I gotta look this up. They were 3-3.
Falcons.
They lost to the Falcons and they lost to the they were 3-3, about to face the Saints, and then they lost. And then they lost to the Falcons. So they're 3-5 now. So they're going on a skid, but they were playing really well early in the season because their defense was playing well at the time, and then their offense was playing as well too, but they're kind of sliding a bit, and they're finally facing like better teams. I know the Falcons aren't really good; they're division rivals, but you're seeing the Panthers kind of where they expected to be this season, kind of like bottom feeders. They exceeded expectations in the beginning, and now like the Panthers are who we thought they were right now. So, this game shouldn't be. I mean, it could be a trap game, but I don't really see it. So
the big question is going to be: can we stop CMC?
No, that's the big question. Like we can't give that. Yeah, we're not going to win. The only chance the Panthers have to win this game is Christian McCaffrey goes off.
Yeah, that's the only. I can't even because, like I said earlier, if we commit to the run, we're actually pretty good at stopping it. We really are.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a question of
because this game reminds me of like last year. Last year, we faced Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings. We shut down Dalvin Cook for the most part. We throw all his attention to him, and we try to make Kirk Cousins beat us, and he failed. So I mean, Matt Moore was playing that game because it was when Patrick Mahomes was recovering from his knee injury. So we needed that win. That's actually looking back, I feel like that was a key win because if we didn't win that game,
one of my favorite games of the season.
Yeah, it really was. If we didn't win that game, we probably wouldn't have gotten the second seed.
No, and it's cool to look back at it in hindsight, but make Teddy Bridgewater beat you. That's the message that I want to say. Make him throw all over us.
But if he beats us, throwing all over us, well, he beat us. Can't say anything about that. So
he said this as well. We need to get Willie Gay more involved. It's got to happen. I don't know why we're putting Ben Neiman out
he
there.
actually had a good game. He actually had a good game when he played in Denver. He was deflecting passes. He stopped the run when he needed to. He when he had his moments, he actually provided in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he needs to be on the field for much more. Oh yeah, and I want to talk about this. I don't know if you noticing this, or I don't know if any other Chiefs fans that are noticing this, but I think Tre'Davious Ward is having a down season this year.
You know what somebody told me? He had LASIK surgery. So he's like having problems seeing. Like, as comical as that sounds, he's like having trouble literally picking up where they're like, because apparently I heard that that's why that he blew that, that massive Will Fuller touchdown in the playoff game. It's because the man couldn't see him. I heard that recently and I was blown away. I was like, this man is having like LASIK issues.
If that's the case, he shouldn't be on the field, obviously. I mean, we essentially have someone who can't see anything on the field. I mean, I don't know. But I feel like when Snead comes back, because he was practicing this week as well as Sammy Watkins, but I don't know if Ladarius Snead was taken off IR, but he should be coming back this season. I don't know if they're going to bench Tre'Davious Ward, or I don't know if they're going to switch. I don't know what they're going to do, but because I'm not the Chiefs, I'm not like staff, but I feel like Tre'Davious Ward is leaning closer to the. I feel like he might get benched soon. What do you think?
When Snead comes back, he will, because right now, even what's his slot corner, Fenton's playing better than he is.
Yeah.
So it's he's serviceable. He's not a starter. He's just not. I think Dude, I was completely wrong about Snead. I really was. I thought that he was a guy that was going to have to prove it on special teams first, but he's been a very good.
He should have had 3 interceptions. He should have picked off Lamar, and then like when he dove for the ball, I think that should have been an interception. I think that's when he broke his collarbone. But anyways, he's been spectacular. He has 2 interceptions. He really should have had 3. He was playing really well until he broke his collarbone. He's like a ball hawk. He's a ball hawk. I noticed that like. He goes after the ball.
And he's got the speed to keep up with anybody.
He's fast. So he's fast. So I would rather have him on the field now. So
well, good to see you, Gary. But I would rather keep him out because I don't know what. Like, I've never broken a collarbone. I don't know what's wrong. I know.
He's practicing.
Yeah, I'd still ease him back in there. They might have a snap count on him. But we know that Tyreek dislocated his collarbone, and he was out like, 4 or 5 weeks? And I don't even think...
Hold up. Broken collarbone.
I'm not 100% sure, but Tyreek did something with his collarbone. It was like week 1 last year.
Broken collarbones, it takes usually 6 to 8 weeks to heal for adults.
Yeah.
So he should be back this year.
I mean, Snead's playing a full contact sport where the name of the game is to attack opposing players. That's the nature of the game. You're going to try to find that weakness to give you a competitive advantage. I'm not sure. I think ease him back this week if he plays at all. I think somebody mentioned.
But you think he'll be back for the season?
Oh yeah, he. There's no way he doesn't. As a precaution, I would keep him out till after the bye.
Yeah, they're not going to play him. They're going to keep him out after the bye and then see where he is when we go to Las Vegas to face the Raiders on Sunday Night Football. Maybe we'll see.
And honestly, I know this is probably not a popular opinion, but I'd say do the same with Chris Jones. Chris Jones is not the best run stopper. He's good, but he's shown that he struggles at times. Let him get healthy. He's got that groin injury. I said in my video yesterday, I thought he had COVID or exposed to it. That time that he was going to get off, I thought would really help him kind of heal that up.
I mean, if he wants to play, you can't really force him not to play.
Yeah, I agree, but that's the competitive guy in Chris Jones, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a good game, though. Much more competitive than the Jets game, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But like I don't know, I feel like we should have got more turnovers in the Jets game. I mean, we're stopping them in the red zone, but I didn't like how like we would let them drive all the way at least to like to the 20-yard line, our own 20-yard line, and then they can do shit after that. So
okay, can you Gibson or I don't know what that means. Are you talking about the?
And did you see the fake punt?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Oh no, the fake punt. It was like I feel like Andy Reid was like, well. Fuck your team. Your team stinks.
I was kind of like my dad. Was like, yo, watch him do a fake punt right here, and I was like, okay, why would they do that? And then they just pull a fake punt. So I was actually kind of disappointed that they did that because they're doing it up against the Jets. You could have literally told the Jets what you were doing and ran it straight up the gut, and you would have been fine. Like I don't know why
they said I don't know. I guess that's kind of a disrespectful because they're just like, we're getting points on this drive whether you like it or not. So I mean,
like the very next play, Mahomes hit Tyreek in the middle.
For 36 yards touchdown. I'm just like, wow, the Jets really do stink. I mean, Sam Donald's not bad, but the Jets, they don't have anything. They really don't. But I'm gonna surprise some people this week in my picks.
Ooh, boy. Like either start Antonio Gibson or Damian Harris as running back. I don't even. Do you know who these guys are?
Damian Harrison is he's the running back for the Patriots, and Antonio Gibson is I think he's the running back for the Washington football team. Correct me if I'm not.
Actually, you're right. You are right. Yeah. I would start Antonio Gibson because Damian Harris, Sonny Michel back for the pay. If he is, I wouldn't play Harris personally. Not too much just looking at the injury report. Our injury report's actually very low this week. It really is.
But I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like people are gonna hate me when I say this, but I feel like we're just flying too high right now. I feel like we by this time last year we're literally like we weren't getting enough media attention at all. I think we're like 5-3.
Yeah.
At this point last year, and then we're kind of like under the radar last year, but now people are talking about us once again, and I feel like we're under the radar this year too. Not so much as last year, but I feel like the Steelers are getting much more attention than us because they're 8-0.
With the Steelers, probably they could go undefeated. They really could. Their schedule is not that hard. If they go undefeated and we don't get the 1 seed, we'll be slept on. They're going to say that Pittsburgh's got the better team. They're going to beat us. They're going to get their pass rushers after Mahomes. But dude, keep doubting us. Just keep doubting us. That's what Mahomes strives under. When he gets pressure on him, we've seen it time.
I mean, we could have went undefeated in that Raider game. I mean, if we go 15-1, we're gonna look back at that Raider game like, damn. But then again, the Raiders aren't that bad this year, so.
Honestly, I think we're gonna drop at least one more. At least, in my opinion, at least one more.
Yeah, do you think it'll be to the Saints or Bucks? Because those are one of the two teams that I think will drop one more to.
Bucks. It's the Saints. They're not as good as everybody says they are. They're just not.
So you can see us losing to the Bucks, right?
Yes, I can. I can't see us. I could see us losing to the Saints, but I wouldn't predict that. Do you think that Pat Mahomes will do good against Panthers pass defense? Yeah, he will. The Steelers have the last place in the division schedule. What is that? The Steelers have the last place.
No, they don't. They have the third. I think they have the third. Wait. So no, they have the second place schedule because they got second place last year, so they have the second place division. But the problem with that is the whole AFC North faces the NFC East, and you know how the NFC East is trash. So that's why one of the reasons why the Browns are doing so good this year because they're facing the NFC East, and the Ravens they're struggling, but they're 5-2 because they're facing the NFC East. I mean, the whole AFC North are getting free wins because the NFC East is garbage.
Did you hear Colin Cowherd said that the Eagles could win a home playoff game?
I mean, they could. I mean, the Saints, if they're facing the Saints, yeah, because I don't.
Really?
The Saints,
Would you pick the Eagles over the Saints?
I'll pick it. I'll pick the Eagles if they're facing the Saints at home. I'll pick it. If they're facing any team, if they're facing a team not named the Saints at home in the playoffs, then I won't pick it because
Bro,
I don't
give me the Saints on the road by 2 touchdowns at least. The Eagles, they're
but they'll be healthy then. I mean, I don't really trust the Saints on a road game, to be honest with you, in the playoffs. I mean, the Saints have choked too many times in the playoffs that I can't even trust them. I can't trust the Saints in the playoffs anymore. I can't. Yeah. They have choked 3 years in a row. I keep picking them every time to go to the Super Bowl, and they can't deliver. So
not just you.
Yeah,
same thing.
So I'm not picking the Saints anymore. I can't keep doing it. And they're not even looking that dominant this year. I mean, maybe they'll look better when the season's ending, when Michael Thomas is there and stuff. But they just really haven't been impressive this year. I don't know. Their defense is not as good as last year. They keep, I think, the 24th in scoring defense. Keep giving up big plays. The pass rush is not as good as last year. They're not really. The Saints defense they're not good as they were last year. So I'm sick and tired of people saying the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. Drew Brees is old. Drew Brees can't throw deep. Like, his game just revolves around Michael Thomas doing slant routes. That's how he gets his first down, or Alvin Kamara in the backfield. Yeah. Check down, and then you already know how Alvin Kamara is. He'll probably make a man miss and take it all the way to the house, or for a big gain, probably. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about the Saints. We could beat them. I don't see how the Saints defense will keep up with the Chiefs offense. I think our defense will get stops here and there against the Saints. I feel like we're gonna beat them. But the only game I'm really worried about on our schedule, right now is probably the Bucs game. The Bucs have a lot of weapons, and I don't know if our defense, even though they're improved, I don't know if our defense will be able to keep up with those Buccaneers weapons, really.
AB will be back by then. But Cole asked a good question. Assuming the Steelers don't go 16-0, how many games do they lose, and who's their first loss?
So I'm gonna look at the Steelers schedule right now.
Going off of what I've read, it's very easy. I think the only game that they've got a chance of losing would be to the Ravens, and that's like the only game I could legit, unless they pull a Titans and lose to like the Bengals, which I can't really see happening.
Oh, that's bad.
I think you're good. I think that they lose one.
All right, so the remaining schedule is they'll beat the Cowboys this Sunday, I'm sure. They'll beat the Bengals at home. Yeah. Actually, who knows? Because the Bengals, I mean, I know they're 2-5, but they're not like getting blown out. They're making their games competitive. So, but I still think the Steelers would be favored to win that game. They'll beat the Jaguars. Steelers will beat the Jaguars. The Thanksgiving game, that's the game that we kind of need the Ravens to win. I don't know, but are you going to pick it? No, because, I mean, you've seen what Lamar, he can't throw. You need to be able to throw against the Steelers defense, because the Steelers defense, their linebackers are too fast. Their linebackers are too fast for Lamar Jackson to be running around. You can't do that. You see the game last week, like he when the Steelers forced Lamar Jackson to pass, he failed. He failed. And even then, the Ravens almost won that game. Like, I mean, the Steelers offense didn't play that good. I mean,
I think Lamar just chokes in big games.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away those 4 turnovers, the Ravens would have won that game. So, I mean, I'm not gonna like take credit away from the Steelers. They won the game, but I feel like the Ravens beat themselves that game.
Yeah,
they really did.
Yeah, they had a ton of turnovers, and Lamar couldn't get the first down when he needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the Ravens could beat the Steelers, but they're
I don't
probably
think it's possible. The Steelers might get so confident that they might lose a game that they have no business losing.
because
But
it's very hard. It's very hard because you got to take account for injuries and like resting players and all this. It's very hard for nowadays. It's very hard for a team to go 16-0, like in this generation. It's hard.
Yeah. Do the playoff contingency plan include no bye for anyone? Well, there's only one team that gets a bye, and it's the 1 seed. And unless the Steelers lose, the Chiefs hold the 2 seed. Steelers 1, Chiefs 2. I think Ravens still 3, Titans 4.
So like we can't, because if we go like 12-4 like we did last year, we're not getting a bye. So
dude, we might get like the 5 seed, dude. Legitimately. Good to see you, Tony. Thanks for coming by.
Actually, no, we won't get a 5 seed for 12-4. We'll probably at worst get a 3rd seed.
I don't know, dude. I mean, the Titans' schedule's easy the rest of the way. The Ravens' schedule relatively easy, unless I'm not sure. I mean, I really don't think. I mean, at the end of the day,
I have some upsets this week. So if my upsets come to be true, we don't got to worry about some teams getting the bye. I feel like the 2 teams right now that are competing against a bye are either the Steelers or the Chiefs. But Patrick Mahomes is better on the road for some reason. I know he hasn't really played a road playoff game since he got to KC. He's always played home playoff games, but I mean, I feel like this year's the year that we're probably going to play. Patrick Mahomes is probably going to play a road playoff game.
Yep, that's just fine by me. But somebody asked, who do you think will replace Frank Clark? Frank Clark's not going anywhere for now. Like we kind of talked about that earlier. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I mean, at least he shows up in the playoffs. He does. He shows up in the playoffs.
My man had like 5 sacks in 3 games. He's a unit.
But I am worried about. I know a lot of people have been talking about how would Mahomes perform if, like, let's say if the Chiefs and Steelers do meet up in the AFC Championship game. Let's say it's probably going to be in Pittsburgh. How do you think Mahomes would perform against the Steelers' defensive line? Because our offensive line is still a problem, and I don't know how our offensive line will hold up against this really good Steelers front. What do you think?
Le'Veon Bell is going to get revenge against his former team. You know what they're going to do? This is something, and I think that the Steelers kind of match up like the 49ers in the sense that they have a very good well, this was last year, but the Niners had a very good defensive line. They got after Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and for the first 3.5 quarters, or the first 4 quarters, basically, they made his life a living hell. The offensive line couldn't keep up. Mahomes was basically running for his life, and I think that the Steelers can get that kind of pressure on him. But if they bring everything at him, if they throw the kitchen sink at him, watch Le'Veon be open. I mean, the linebackers.
But the problem is that they don't have to, because they're just getting pressure from Bud Dupree, Stephon Tuitt, T.J. Watt. That defensive line is really good. I know they lost Devin Bush for the entire season, but I think his replacement, Spillane, whatever, he had a pick 6 last week, and he's been decent too. I know they got Avery Williamson from the Jets from a trade.
Yeah.
Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's holding down the secondary along with Mike Hilton, Joe Hayden, Steven Nelson, former cornerback from the Chiefs. So the defense is pretty good.
Steven Nelson.
Yeah. But they haven't really faced a team with speed. And I keep telling people this, like, when you face the Chiefs, that will really see how really good your defense is, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the deal breaker. But somebody said this: Big Ben can't throw the deep ball consistently. I've noticed this. He's a lot less accurate. I mean, I'm seeing him like throw picks. I think he threw like 3 picks against the Titans, and our defense is significantly better than the Titans. So, and we're good at forcing turnovers too. So if we can force turnovers against that Ravens defense and make them come from behind, the Ravens play a lot of close games, and the Chiefs are capable of winning in pretty much any fashion. So I think the Chiefs stack up pretty well, even on the road. But that'd be a hell of an AFC champ game. I'll tell you that. That would be.
By the way, are you gonna make your mid-season prediction videos and playoff predictions towards the end of the season?
You know what? Here's what we're gonna do.
So I can come on the show if you want me to make my playoff predictions like sometime in
We'll
December.
definitely do something. Do we do mid-season predictions right now? Because maybe we do it over the bye, but the bye is.
I mean, it's kind of. It's like what? It's like week 9 now, so we're literally halfway through the season now. So I think we should do it right now because it's like halfway.
You make our mid-season predictions here. Let me. I'll pull it up. Would you want to do both sides of the AFC and NFC?
Yeah.
Okay. NFL playoff. What is it called? Bracket, or I don't. I'll try to find it. Somebody asked for this earlier in the comments. I think it's a good idea because, I mean, like I said, we might as well make our predictions. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to share my screen. If you guys want to see it, I can try, but I'm not sure if I can do it 100% successfully. That's not what I want. I want NFL playoff picture. Are you looking at it currently?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't see anything.
Okay. I'm looking at it now. I'll go off. Wow. Okay. The Steelers hold the 1 seed. The Chiefs hold the 2 seed. The Bills hold the 3 seed. Titans 4, Ravens 5, Colts 6, Browns 7. So I believe if the playoffs started today, we'd play the Colts because it go 2-6, I believe.
No, 2-7.
Really? So the Colts play the Steelers then?
No. Right now, we would play the Browns, I believe, because it's the 7 and the 2 seed.
Why don't they do 1-7, 2-6?
Because the 1 has a bye.
Oh, good point. Dude, if we play the Browns, we'll destroy that team, dude. They're a fake team. They're just waiting to get blown out. So, I guess I should try to pull up NFL playoff predictor, so I don't.
Kareem Hunt reunion game.
Did you see him like almost in tears last year when he got pulled over? He's like, I could have been in the Super Bowl, man. But he signed with the Browns. Whoa, this is cool. Hold on. This is crazy. In fact, this is kind of complicated. Current standings. I mean, why don't instead of getting over everything, because we don't know how it's going to shake up yet. What do you see being the AFC representative and the NFC representative?
I mean, I'm gonna be a little biased here, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. They have the best quarterback in the league. Seahawks fans. Russell Wilson's good, but Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league still. Their defense is top 5 statistically in everything besides the run game and run defense. Our special teams is good. We're like an all-around team. Like for the first time in a while. Like I mean, it's for Chiefs fans, like we're either good on offense or bad on defense, or bad on defense. No, wait, good on offense, bad on defense. Good defense, bad offense. We can never have like everything like click together. But the first time in like what seems like forever, the Chiefs actually have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. Well, let me
Well,
a
top 5 scoring defense.
Yeah, top 5 scoring defense. So we actually have a balanced team in Kansas City for the first time. It seems like forever. So. I think that the Chiefs would represent the AFC. The Steelers, they're offense will probably be their downfall. I know their defense is really good. They're top 5 in everything. But the Steelers offense wasn't really that impressive last week. I know they beat the Ravens, but their offense has been it's been stagnant for some time. Like you could see from the Titans game, I know they were blowing out the Titans at one point, but their offense gets stale. And they'll get stale at sometimes, and your offense cannot be stale when you're facing the Chiefs, because the Chiefs will blow you out. So you can't afford for your offense to keep going 3 and out,
Like
3 and out,
most of
3
the
and out.
Steeler points are most off of like turnovers, like off of turnovers, like they're points off of turnovers, I should say.
Yeah. So
the Chiefs are your AFC team. Who do you got coming out of the NFC? There's a lot of good teams.
Seahawks.
I gotta go with the Bucks. The Bucks have
Buccaneers. Yeah, Buccaneers could do it.
The Bucks have Tom Brady. Tom Brady he has weapons now. I don't know why New England didn't give him weapons up there. He still has it. I know he's 43 years old, but he still has it. He seems really young out there. He's having fun. The Buccaneers have a lot of weapons. They have Mike Evans. They have Chris Godwin. They have Leonard Fournette. They have Ronald Jones. They have Rob Gronkowski. They have all these weapons that they didn't provide
Antonio
him.
Brown as well.
Yeah, they have Antonio Brown that was signed last week. They have all these
Cameron
weapons.
Brate.
Yeah, they have Cameron Brate. They have all these weapons on the offense side of the ball, and their defense is really good as well. A lot of people were underestimating their defense coming into this season, but their defensive line is really good. They have Ndamukong Suh, they have Shaq Barrett, they have JPP Paul. They have all them boys up there, and I think their secondary is very underrated as well.
What do you got?
Yeah, so I have the Chiefs and Buccaneers. I'm representing the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, so Andy Rod, what do you think? I think we're all. We're all gonna have the Chiefs, I assume, unless something goes stray. But who do you think is gonna represent the NFC?
NFC, I got actually 2 teams that could represent the NFC. Actually, it could definitely be the Bucks, or it could be the Seahawks. Because right now Russell Wilson has been playing on a high caliber MVP season, but the only thing that concerns me about Seattle is their defense, because they give up a lot of points and a lot of yardage. So that's where Seattle's downfall is going to be. But their offense is still good because, of Russell Wilson and, his playmaking ability and the weapons that they have: Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and all these other guys.
DK Metcalf is special, dude.
DK Metcalf is something else. Yeah, I give him that. He's a special receiver. But the only downfall, like I said, for Seattle is their defense, because their defense right now has been a big concern for them. So that's where it's going to be the downfall. But for right now, for the Bucks, they have been proving a lot of people wrong. They have been sort of a surprise in the NFL because, like what Chief Palace said, their defense was being underestimated before the season was going to begin. But now their defense has been playing at a high level, actually. And with that offense, with so many weapons, man, this team is pretty much stacked, man. They could definitely make it to the Super Bowl. I could see that happening.
Yeah. Okay, so I got the Chiefs, obviously, coming out of the AFC. But I think there's 2 teams that can make it out. It's either the Seahawks or the Buccaneers. I can't see the Packers. For whatever reason, I can see them choking to Tampa Bay. But before the season, my preseason predictions was Chiefs Seahawks. And it's either going to be Chiefs Seahawks or Chiefs Bucks. I think that the Seahawks, like you said, their defense is just it's too much of a liability. It really is. Chief Urag.
The link is in the description, bro.
Yeah, link in the description.
Yeah, I can't choose the Seahawks. I mean, if the Seahawks defense was just average, then I would have chose the Seahawks.
And I can't choose the Saints either, because the Saints
I can't choose the Saints. I can't because Drew Brees can't throw the deep ball. I mean, sooner or later, teams are gonna figure out Drew Brees is not throwing a deep ball. They're just gonna play up in the front, and then what are the Saints gonna do? Just check down to Alvin Kamara and check down to Michael Thomas? That's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So I can't see the Saints going. I certainly can't see the the Packers going.
Well,
I know they beat the 49ers. I know they beat the
Well, Niners are
49ers.
terrible this season.
But the Niners are too many injuries, and they're not really that good this year.
Durag.
What's going on, fellas?
Not
Come on, man.
But
Chilling.
I can't see. I mean, the Cardinals, nah, they're still young. They'll make the playoffs, but they're still young. So I don't think they'll surprise. They're surprising me as a playoff team, but I don't think they're gonna go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
No. So really, the only two teams that I could actually see going to the Super Bowl from the NFC are the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. But I'm leaning towards the Buccaneers because they have a good defense, and I think the Buccaneers could easily beat the Seattle Seahawks with that defense. So
Okay, so Urag, we all think that the Chiefs are obviously going to the Super Bowl in the AFC, but what are your playoff predictions? I guess mid-season predictions.
Hey, since we're here, why don't we just get the schedule up and do ourselves a relevancy report? But if I had to answer your question, I mean, from the AFC, let's be honest, it's pretty much just Kansas City and Baltimore, and I don't know. I'm not really too much of a believer in Pittsburgh until I see them beat multiple good teams in a row. Well, not necessarily in a row, but you know what I mean, just part of their schedule.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some people can argue, oh, they beat Tennessee and they beat Baltimore, but those games were way too close. Tennessee almost came back and won if it wasn't for a missed field goal, or tied the game, I should say. It wasn't for a missed field goal by Steven Gostkowski. And the Ravens, the Steelers offense really only put up 21 points because one of their points came off a pick six. So the Ravens beat themselves that game. So as much as the Steelers are 8-0, we have to give them respect where credit is due. But I'm not really sold on the offense just yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, me neither.
I'm sold on their defense though. On the offense.
From the NFC, I mean, it's god awful and disappointing that we even have to let an NFC East team even in the playoffs at all.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond, I thought I had to point that out. But beyond that, I mean, at face value, Seahawks, Packers, Buccaneers. I don't know. I feel like the Saints have been stinking up the joint a little bit lately.
Yeah, that's what we discussed.
I mean, I think if they pull their head out of their ass and get something going, they can definitely be a dangerous team. I'll tell you one thing now. Going into New Orleans later this year, I'm not as freaked out about it as I was at the beginning of the year. I
was looking at the scores. We might lose to New Orleans, but. I think we'll beat New Orleans. I'm more worried about the Bucks than the Saints.
Yep. I can't see it happening either.
But I think it's going to be Chiefs versus Bucks. I really do.
I think whatever team comes out of the AFC wins it. I really do. Whether it's Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens. It's not gonna be
I can't see the Ravens anymore because Lamar can't throw. He can't throw.
That's why can't throw. That's why they have 4 tight ends and 6 running backs. That's pretty much why.
If any team's gonna beat the Chiefs, it's the Steelers. Really, I don't really see any other team beating the Chiefs in the AFC.
If the Ravens thought that Lamar Jackson was gonna be this prolific throwing passer type quarterback, they would definitely be getting him stock in the wide receiver position, but they just never do. It's all 10, 15-yard passes and maybe a couple of long ones when the guy's wide open. But other than that, they're just kind of like a dink and dunk pass, but mainly a run first kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They just don't scare me. They haven't won any meaningful games yet, so
they haven't won any meaningful games ever. The schedule is always the easiest, and they beat up on teams that they should win. They can't beat the big teams when it matters.
The Chargers embarrassed them a couple of years ago, and then Derrick Henry just straight up got the best of this dude. He throws fits too. You see him on the sideline too, man. He loses his cool. He ain't like Mahomes, where Mahomes is like, all right, yeah, whatever. We're down 24. Fuck it. Let's just figure this out, boys. You know. But you seen Lamar, dude. He gets pissed when things don't go his way. He ain't happy about it.
How can you complain if you're Lamar? You have literally everything at your fingertips. You got a running back in J.K. Dobbins. They've got tight ends. Like you said, they got damn near 4 of them. I mean, he's got no excuses, and I think he realizes that, and he can't get it done.
Yeah,
I just don't. Hollywood Brown too, and I think Hollywood Brown was kind of frustrated with the offense. He tweeted it out. I'm more concerned about the Steelers at this point of time than the Ravens, because quite frankly, let's be real. I know Alex Smith is in here, but the Steelers, they have given us problems. They've given us problems. I know it's not the same team back then, but I know the Steelers have given the Chiefs problems in recent history.
Well, the last time we played was one of Mahomes' breakout games, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was in Pittsburgh. I don't know. Big Ben was.
It was an offensive shootout, actually.
They were kind of going through their bullshit at that time, with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. He was holding out, I think, for that season.
Yeah, he didn't play that season.
They had distraction central going on in Pittsburgh that year.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Andy Reid has I was just gonna ask who's the Panthers coach? Mike
Rule. He used to coach in a college.
Holy Matt shit! Rule. Both of you just said a bunch of shit. What? Who?
It's Matt Rule.
Yeah, one at a time.
Who's that?
The Panthers head coach.
He used to coach for a college.
I think he was a Baylor.
Oh, okay. So they plucked him out of college.
I think he was the head coach for Baylor, I believe. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Right.
Was it Baylor?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's their quarterback?
Bridgewater, baby.
I feel terrible right now.
Oh, you're good. It's Teddy.
He ain't a scrub. He's like an Alex Smith to me. He ain't a scrub.
Bro, I love Alex Smith. I hope he gets comeback player of the year. He should. I know Ben.
Yeah, I think Alex Smith is most likely going to retire after this season.
Yeah.
He did everything that he said he was going to do.
I like the guy. He always brought a winning culture in KC, but you guys know that, I care about the playoffs, and the guy just couldn't get it done in the playoffs.
He's a hard worker, but he's not an A student.
Yeah.
I will admit, it wasn't always his fault.
Nah, hell no.
He struggled towards the end, and whenever I think of the Steelers, I think of that playoff game from 2016.
I know the playoff game. If he would have won that game, I don't think we would have drafted Mahomes. I'm serious. If he would have won that game, I really don't think the Chiefs would have drafted Mahomes.
I don't know. All we did was kick field goals in that game.
Oh no!
Right?
Well,
yeah.
No, we got two touchdowns.
That's all the Steelers did in that game.
Yeah, because I knew after that game I was mad, but I was like, I feel like that game Andy Reid knows that Alex Smith is good, but he's not good enough, and he knew that he needed to draft a quarterback. Yeah. After that season, he knew it.
The Titans loss was the nail in the coffin, basically.
Yeah.
Well, based on the story, Brett Veach was hollering in his ear anyway about Mahomes.
Whoops, my bad.
Wait, was he not planning to draft Mahomes in the first place, or you don't? Because Dorsey was a GM before he got fired that offseason, I believe.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is based on the story that I'm hearing, through the grapevine and through video and this and that and interviews, with Mitch and Brett Veach and all them chief guys that are upper brass, is that Brett Veach had been scoping this kid out for like at least a year or two before we drafted him. Based on what I'm hearing, not like 5 years, but Brett Veach is like Andy Reid's like right hand man, like forever when it comes to like looking for players. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I heard, Brett Veach was into Mahomes, at least a year or two before we drafted him.
Yeah, dude, Dorsey.
I don't know what Dorsey had to do with it, but Dorsey is just the master of bad deals.
He was horrible with cap space, so bad.
Dorsey could never finish the deal.
No,
like he put the pieces into place, but he couldn't finish it. And Brett Veach, he's looking good this year, but let's also take into account like the first year Veach took over as GM, he signed Sammy to a massive contract, also gave Hitchens a ton of money. And in the end of the day, we won a Super Bowl, but in the beginning, he wasn't great with money, but he changed that over the offseason.
I'm not saying Hitchens and Sammy are like horrible guys, but they don't
shit ton of money, dude.
Sam, he's not getting paid. I think he's only on a 1-year deal now. He's not getting paid that much anymore.
He took a pay cut.
Yeah, he took a pay cut.
Dude, Sammy Watkins is the ultimate slap in the face to pretty much everybody. We signed him for what everybody said was way too much money, and we ended up doing what you're supposed to do, which is win a Super Bowl. And then the guy takes a pay cut.
Yeah.
Like Sammy Watkins is like he I don't even know how to explain it, but he's like perfect. He was perfect for us. I don't know about perfect because he got hurt a couple of times, but this is a sport of football. Anybody can get hurt. But for what it was worth, like for the amount of money that we paid, like, he was supposed to be a broken down fucking donkey the whole time, but instead he's an awesome number 2 and we win a ring. So you tell me.
But I honestly thought when we traded up to the 10th spot in the draft in 2017, I really thought that we were gonna take Watson.
Deshaun, me too.
I swear.
Me too.
I was like, okay, the Chiefs are taking a quarterback for sure because it was already official because we traded up. So
just because he won the national championship.
Yeah, I was like,
But I was still happy with Mahomes.
Yeah,
I was
because I don't really
highlights. I think on my Chiefs Instagram page, I did post about Mahomes in the offseason. I was like, I like this Mahomes guy from Texas Tech. Like, if we're gonna draft a quarterback this offseason, I feel like it's gonna be either him or Watson, one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else.
We couldn't have gone either, but Mahomes has proven to be much more versatile for our scheme. But poor Bears, dude. Poor Bears.
Watson's not bad, but he just holds on to the ball too long. But I felt like if he was coaching under Andy Reid, I think he wouldn't have that trait anymore.
You get a chance to rejudge Deshaun Watson all over again because Bill O'Brien's out of his life now.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Oh, man. Bill O'Brien was terrible. He single-handedly won them that playoff game last year against the Bills.
He's counterproductive in some instances that straight up lose you games. We can tell you that firsthand last year. Especially with the fucking fake punt when you're up 24-0. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen.
I know, dude. I don't know why would he do that.
Just fucking punt the ball.
They're at like what? They're at like the 30. They're 32. They weren't even close.
It's the dumbest thing ever. Just punt the ball. You're up 24-0. Just punt the ball. Fucking stupid.
They should have. If I'm the Texans owner, I'm firing him before he gets in the locker room at halftime because they were losing at that time anyway.
That play right there is why Daniel Sorensen is still on this team this year.
But Daniel Sorensen has really been good this year. I can't talk shit.
He wants to be here. You can't take that away from him. He straight up wants to be here.
Man had a pick six. Man had a fumble recovery. Man had a forced fumble. He had a.
You could see him when he's running around on the field, dude. He acts like he wants to be here.
Mm-hmm. We love to see that. He's a good third option. Right? He's not a starter, but he's a very good third or fourth option.
I think he's starting now.
Well, they're kind of putting him in that like a hybrid role. They're like pulling him up towards the line of scrimmage.
Depends on the play.
Yeah. But
really depends on the play, I think. I think if they're having like Matthew blitz, they'll put Sorensen in. But if Matthew's not blitzing and Thornhill is out there and they're going to cover people, then they'll take out Sorensen.
How long do you think Matthew will stay in KC?
they're gonna get. He's already said he wants to stay here and he doesn't care about money. So
yeah, they're gonna try and keep him forever.
I think he might retire here in KC.
I want to stick a syringe in him and suck out all the attitude and bottle it up and sell it to other players.
most of our players want to stay in KC for the most part. I don't know, like I can't really think about any player leaving KC because you have the perfect playing with one of the best quarterbacks right now in the NFL. Where else would you go? I mean,
They've created a very addictive culture.
Yeah. It's like it got into a point where some people don't even care about the money anymore. They just want to be there.
you just want to play with Mahomes, dude.
Yeah.
You want to be part of that greatness. You can like see the magic and the twinkle in his eye, you know, and it's just like shit. I want to be one of those guys.
Bell, he didn't even care about the money. He just said, "I want to play with Mahomes."
He already got paid.
Yeah, the Jets are paying him to play.
The Jets. Oh my gosh. I mean, the Jets cut him. It's not our fault that he wanted to play with us. I mean,
the Jets are paying him to play for us. Gotta love the Jets. Gotta love the Jets.
But what did we end up getting for that trade we made? We made like a last-second trade, I think.
Oh, we got like a 6th-round pick only from
the Colts or something.
No, from the Dolphins, I believe.
Talking about the running back that we traded.
Yeah, the running back.
DeAndre Washington.
Mm-hmm. I think we got a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't think we'd make too many moves at the trade deadline. We've spent way too much money.
Pretty much.
It got into a point where I'm like, how do we have this money? Like, sheesh. I'm serious because like we paid so much players off season. We retained like 20 out of our 22 players this off season.
I think Brett Beacon was printing it in his house, honestly.
What's the Panthers like deal with like offense and defense and like all that crap?
Panthers, they have their offense is pretty average for the most part.
Who's their main guy? Is it McCaffrey still?
Yeah. The McCaffrey, and then for the wide receivers, their main guy is Robbie Anderson.
We should win this game pretty easily.
Right. I know we're at home.
We could lose it,
but the problem is like Andy Reid's always known as losing random games. It happened last year with the Colts.
Is it an early game? Is it the early game or the afternoon?
Yeah, it's a 1:00 game.
Right.
That has mob connections.
But because before the start of this season, I'm just like making my prediction of the Chiefs. I was like, I circled this game. And I circled this game for a reason. I was like, we could lose this game. I have us winning still, but like this could be a trap game. Like the Chiefs are known for losing like games that they're not supposed to lose. But it's kind of been different with Mahomes around. What do you think?
Well,
what exactly was the question? What exactly was the question?
Oh, I was just saying that this could be a trap game.
Oh yeah, it definitely could. I mean, they're better than their record shows. They are. They're 3-5, Erag, if you didn't know. But
they're 3-5.
Yeah, I mean, from what I think they're 3-5. I mean, they're a good team though. In my opinion, I mean, they're good enough to the point where I think that we could potentially overestimate or underestimate them and lose. So, yeah.
I feel like we'll win. I feel like we're better than a 3-5 team. I think we have our hiccups from time to time, but I don't think we're particularly due for one.
I mean, we did overlook the Raiders, though, because Raiders aren't as bad as we thought they were, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
My whole issue with that Raider game is Mahomes' completion percentage. If that had been what it normally had been, I think we would have won because we only lost by a touchdown.
Yeah, but the offensive line.
I think Mahomes' completion percentage that week was like 48, 49%. It was god awful. It was the worst ever. And if these passes were just caught, there would have been that many more first downs. There would have been that many more touchdowns. And at the end of the day, you lose 40-32 in a game where your quarterback plays god awful. You know?
I mean, the offensive line was absolutely atrocious that game.
Oh yeah.
It was literally on the first play, like
Brandon.
I think Tyreek Hill had a touchdown and the offensive line, like, penalty on the offensive line holding.
Yeah.
And then we had a pass interference call that wasn't called. I don't know if you guys remembered.
Yeah.
Like the refs really, I don't want to blame the refs, but the refs, they're a huge factor in this game. In that game. I know the defense didn't play good. I understand. They're getting torched. Ward was getting torched by Henry Ruggs.
My cat. Well,
he was getting torched way too much. Derek Carr had a field day on us.
It looked like a prototypical Chiefs AFC West loss since Andy Reid has gotten here, which means the Chiefs got to step on their own toes, trip over their own feet, all that crap. And at the same time, the other team's got to pretty much play out of their mind.
Mm-hmm. That's usually how the Chiefs reminded me. That defense, that game reminded me of, like, oh shit. Yeah. It reminded me of a Bob Sutton defense. I swear.
Look back to all the other games that the Chiefs have lost in the division in the past 5 or 6 years. They're all wild, crazy games where usually the other team plays really, really well and the Chiefs play god awful. And then, like, the next week and the weeks after, it's like it never happened. The Chiefs go back to just kicking ass, you know?
Pretty much. Like I said, we shouldn't win this. We should not lose this game. We should win it. We're just better. But hiccups happen. I don't know.
The only question is what games are we going to lose? Because
it's either going to be the Bucks.
We're on pace. We're on pace so far in my book. I picked us with either like 1 or 2 losses by the bye week, so we're in great shape. The only question is who are you going to lose to? I don't see us losing a divisional game for the rest of the year.
We can't lose to the Raiders, dude. The amount of fucking Raiders fans are going to come on my page. Dude, I have never heard of so many.
I don't think so.
Dude, it was unbelievable. Wait,
let them enjoy it.
Beat us. And I'm just
let them enjoy it.
Dude, guys, you guys beat us in Arrowhead for the first time since I was in middle school. Chill out. Like, I'm in college right now, and like, it's. I was like.
Yeah, dude.
I was in middle school when the last time the Raiders beat the Chiefs.
That was like when I first met you. Yeah, you were like really young. You were still in high school and shit. It was the last time the Raiders beat us.
In Arrowhead, actually. The last time the Raiders beat us was in 2017, which that pass interference call and then
they played. They played fourth down like 12 times.
Oh my God.
They're bound to get it. I'm just like, this game is so.
We tried to lose that game. Oh man. Yeah.
And then we keep kicking. The last time the Broncos beat us was like when we blew that game when Jamal Charles fumbled the ball away. It was the year when we started 1-5 in 2015, and we ended up 11-5. That was the last time the Broncos beat us, really. So it's been 5 years. The last time the Chargers have kind of beat us here and there, but I don't know. We're pretty good with our division rivals. I think we don't really lose that many division games.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rag. We're probably not going to lose another division game. Maybe the Bucs. Maybe they beat us if we're injured.
Because, like, looking at our schedule, we have
I'm looking at it now too. There's not really that many hard games.
I mean, we have a daunting road tax. We have like 4 road games in 5 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. It is possible to drop one that you don't think you are.
But to be honest with you, if there's going to be another trap game lurking, could be the Dolphins.
Falcons maybe too. They can score a lot of points.
If we lose to the Falcons, I'd be pissed.
They can do it. Points. They can.
Yeah.
They just choke like a mofo.
Then again, it'll be cold in Kansas City at that point, so they're a dome team.
Anything's possible. I can't see it personally, but I've been wrong before.
The Dolphins have really been impressing me this season.
Oh, we play the Dolphins too. We could lose.
It's a away game. I mean, we won't lose. It will be close, but actually, it really depends what Tua does. Actually, nah, I don't think we'll lose. Nah, we won't lose.
The Steelers have the Cowboys, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Ravens, the Washington football team, the Bills, the Bengals, the Colts, and the Browns.
They could lose the Colts game, or the Ravens game, or the Bills game. They can't. They're not going to go undefeated. I could see them losing mostly all 3 of them. I would prefer them to lose all 3 of them, but they're definitely going to at least drop one of those games.
All I know is so far they ain't played fucking nobody. I mean, the Browns are good, but I don't know.
They're too inconsistent.
You're right,
I picked the Raiders to win last week, and they did. So,
I think.
Yeah. And then this week you could pick whoever against the Raiders, and the Raiders would get their ass kicked or some shit.
Actually, they're facing the Chargers. Could be.
Oh, choke off.
Yeah, they keep blowing leads.
I can't pick the Chargers. I mean, do you want to get into week 9 predictions?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. You might as well.
You want to list off the games? I don't have the games in
front. So the first game that I see right now is Panthers at Chiefs. This is a 1:00 game on Fox. NFC AFC matchup. I got the Chiefs winning. The Chiefs, there'll be too much. I feel like the Panthers will keep it close in the beginning, and the Chiefs will pull away in the second quarter. The Panthers, their offensive line isn't really that good. Teddy Bridgewater is like a game manager quarterback. I think Christian McCaffrey will struggle in his return back into the lineup. He won't be fully healthy in this game. The Panthers, they have weapons on the wide. They have Curtis Samuel. They have Robbie Anderson. And then boys, but I think the Chiefs defense will get a couple of turnovers this game. And I feel like the Panthers defense will be overmatched in this game. And I think Patrick Mahomes and Clyde Edwards-Helaire will have a big game because I think the Panthers play like zone coverage, and I don't think you want to play zone coverage when you're facing the Chiefs. I believe soft coverage, so I have the Chiefs winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say. We've been covering this game for the past hour. We're going to win. We're going to win. It's just a question of how much. Basically.
I don't know the Panthers too well, but, the Chiefs are in a nice spot. They're at home right before the bye week, sitting pretty against a below-average team. I mean, I'm not so much of a numbers guy. I'm more of an eyeball test kind of dude. And, I've seen a little bit of highlights here and there from the Panthers, but I don't know. I just feel like everything's been downhill from then ever since they lost the Super Bowl. It's just down, 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 down. There's not really anything to get excited about in Carolina anymore. So, that's why I'll pick the Chiefs. It's a pretty easy pick.
Mm-hmm. What's the next game you got?
Next game, we have the Broncos at Falcons, 1:00 game on CBS.
I'll be right back.
Right.
This is another AFC-NFC matchup. Should we wait for him or?
No, we can go ahead. What's the game again?
Broncos at Falcons.
Ooh, oh man. What do you think? I mean, I'm leaning towards
This is a toss-up. This is a toss-up game. In my opinion, it's a toss-up game.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the the Falcons, I know they've blown leads, but they can score. They can score on this Broncos defense. They have weapons. They have Calvin Ridley. They have Todd Gurley. They have Julio Jones, who's still playing. I know the Falcons defenses, they've been improved over the last 2 weeks. They've been playing better under what's their head coach again? I think Raheem Morris, I believe. I'm not sure.
The Falcons, I got no clue. They fired Dan Quinn.
They fired Dan Quinn, but I think his first name is Raheem, I believe. But they've been playing pretty good after Dan Quinn has been released from duties. I feel like the Broncos got extremely lucky last week.
Oh, yes.
They did, because the Chargers literally choked the game away. They really did choke the game away. They had no business losing that game, in my opinion. So I think the Falcons will win this game at home. I got the Falcons winning this game at home over the Denver Broncos because Drew Lock. I still need to see more from Drew Lock. I know he had that nice comeback last week, but I still need to see more from Drew Lock in the offense. The Broncos defense will contain the Falcons, but I feel like the Falcons will be too much for the Broncos defense because the Falcons have offensive playmakers, and I think the Falcons will win this game at home.
See, I agree with you, but the one thing that could sway my opinion is they're the Falcons, and they choke. Did you see what happened the other day? Fell into the end zone when they were trying to take the time off the clock. I mean, that's just Falcons football. So
they did beat the Panthers last week.
That's true.
They almost choked the game away, but they had a pick at the end.
I mean,
so
I'm going to go with the Falcons because they can put up points, and Drew Lock has not looked very good.
What do you think, Chief Urag?
For all the same reasons, I'm going to agree with you guys. I was pretty much my only question was when I got back was who's at home, but you kind of gave that away. If Denver was at home, I'd be a little bit more inclined to pick them, but this is really just a battle of two shitty-ass teams. But just Atlanta just has the ability to just put up like buco points like pretty quick. Their whole problem is they're just really, really poorly coached and their defense is trash. So I don't know. I guess I'll go with Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next game we have. Oh, did you want to say something else?
It's kind of a forceful pick, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I kind of want to pick Denver, but
dude,
I'll stick with Atlanta.
If the Falcons don't choke, they'll win because they just can't.
The Falcons really should be better. What their record says, they just choke too many games. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. They really should be like, they should be like either 6-4 or it's not 6-4. They should be
better than what they are right now. I mean,
dude,
I've gotten to the point where I pick against them in every game, but this game is going to be so bad that I'm going to have to pick them.
They're the epitome of disappointment.
Yeah.
Better them than us because it used to be us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right,
the next game is Seahawks at Bills. This is a really good game. Seattle is 6-1. The Bills are 6-2. It's AFC NFC matchup. It's gonna be on Fox at 1 p.m.
Ooh.
The Bills are at home, so I am going to pick. Screw it. I'm gonna pick the upset. I got the Bills. And here's why. The Seahawks, they're traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, and this is a 1 p.m. game. Note, this is a 1 p.m. game, and it's really hard for West Coast teams to win on the East Coast at 1 o'clock because it's like 10 o'clock for them, and I don't know how their body would feel. And the Bills, I know they've been struggling. I know Josh Allen kind of sizzled down from the MVP race in the beginning of the season. I think it's going to be wet and windy in Buffalo, cold. It's getting colder up there in Buffalo. I know Seattle plays in cold weather too. The Bills defense, I know the Bills defense has been underperforming this year, but I still think the Bills defense is better than the Seahawks defense because the Seahawks defense has been giving up lots of points this year. I think they're one of the worst defenses in the league. Well, they're not the worst defense in the league because the worst defense in the league is the Cowboys, but they're down there.
They're like the Chiefs from 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're like the Chiefs from 2 years ago. Bad defense, good offense, and I think the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson and the offense will be competitive in this game, but Josh Allen will put up points as too, because this Seahawks defense is terrible. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Josh Allen will have some touchdowns on the Seahawks defense. He's going to get John Brown involved. He's going to get Stephon Diggs involved. Cole Beasley. He has weapons, and I think this is going to be like I think this game is going to be like how the Bills face the Rams at home, like an offensive shootout. Yeah. And I think the Bills will win at home in a close game over the Seahawks at home. So I got the Bills winning. This I don't know if it's an upset, but I see it as an upset because Seattle's favored by 3.5 points. But I think the Bills can win this game at home against the Seahawks because they're traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast. The Bills aren't a bad team. They can catch Seattle sweeping. The Bills are pretty good at home. I think their only home loss is against to us. So they're pretty good at home, and I think the Bills can beat the Seahawks at home because the Seahawks defense isn't really good enough. But Russell Wilson will be competitive in this game, but I ultimately see Buffalo getting a pick here and a fumble there, and that'll be the ultimate factor in this game. So I have the Bills winning.
My big thing is the Bills defense is trash. It just is. But like you said, Seahawks defense isn't great either. But I'm looking at this from an offensive perspective. DK Metcalf is a beast, dude. He's so good. And I think Russell, even though he had a pretty bad game against the Cardinals, he bounced back against the Niners, I believe, last week.
Yeah.
Oh, your mic is going crazy, Chief Spouse.
My bad. I was yawning. My bad.
You're good. Give me the Seahawks in an offensive performance. I think that the Bills away kind of can't win big games. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't like as Urag says, to me, they just don't pass the eye test. That's my biggest problem with them. So give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is a tough one, man. I'm kind of tempted to pick the upset
because it's a West Coast team going to East Coast, and kind of hard.
I think I'm still gonna go with Seattle. I just kind of trust Russell Wilson to kind of do his thing against the Bills. The Bills are a really one-dimensional team. If they can't get things going the way that they want to go, then they just kind of like, you saw them when we played them,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
The Bills they do have injuries. They do have injuries.
Hey, who's favored in this game? Because the Seahawks technically are on the road, but
the Seahawks are favored.
Okay.
They're missing their middle linebacker, Matt Milano, which is really good. The Bills. That's probably one of the reasons why the defense has been bad this year.
I'm going to take the Seahawks to win, but I would probably not gamble this game.
Yeah,
it's going to be close for sure. It's just a matter at the end who can score more points, and I'm not a Josh Allen guy. I'm just not. Give me Russell Wilson.
Okay. Next game, the Bears at the Titans. The Bears are 5-3.
Appreciate it, Gary. All right,
the Titans are 5-2. This is another AFC NFC matchup. This is gonna be on Fox. The Titans are at home. And I am going to pick.
Ooh, that's a good game, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even know. This is a toss up. This, in my opinion, is a toss up. I know the Bears struggled again on offense.
You're telling me.
They really did, but they almost beat the Saints. Really, they took the Saints to overtime, but that's not really saying much because the Saints aren't really that good this year, in my opinion. So, and then the Titans, they had the horrible loss to the Bengals. Did I pick the upset last week? Did I?
No, you thought it could.
Ooh, shit! I knew it. I had a feeling. I thought I should have picked the upset, bro. I knew it.
I'm pretty sure we both said that we wouldn't be shocked at the Bengals.
Yeah,
but
it was an upset waiting to happen. I knew it. Oh, I should have picked the upset. But anyways, the Bears have a better defense than the Titans. So, I mean, the Titans, their defense is not really that good. I know they traded for Desmond King and they released Jonathan Joseph because he was absolutely trash. The Titans, their offense wasn't really impressing me last week. I think teams are now like saying if we need to focus on stopping Derrick Henry. If we stop Derrick Henry, we're going to force Ryan Tannehill to pass the ball a lot. And we saw that from last week that he's a pretty average quarterback when you stop Derrick Henry. So I think the Bears are going to do that. And I feel like the Bears will win this game in a close one. Really close, really.
Yeah.
Because the Bears' defense is so much better, in my opinion. I know they tried their best to hold down the Saints' offense, but I think the Titans' offense is. I think the Bears' defense could hold the Titans' offense. They're definitely going to focus their attention on Derrick Henry and make Ryan Tannehill pass on them. And I think the Bears could actually upset the Titans at home. So I'm going to go with the Bears at home. But it won't shock me if the Titans win this game because the Bears' offense is absolutely horrible. They have no running game. But Nick Foles, I know he turns the ball over, but he can make some throws here and there because he's facing a Titans defense that isn't really that good. So I think this is a perfect opportunity that the Bears can have their offense going in this game because the Titans defense is not really that good this year. So I'm going to pick the Bears on the road as an upset.
This game, you got defense versus offense. Like you said, the Bears defense is superior to the Titans. My problem is I've picked the Bears the last couple of weeks. That offense is fucking horrible. I mean, it is legitimately one of the worst offenses I've ever seen, and this is an offensive-driven league. Give me the Titans. They're going to be motivated coming off of a loss. Give me the Titans. I don't know if it's favorite, but I'll take the Titans in this game.
But it could go either way.
It could. I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go with the Titans. I'm looking at the Bears schedule here, and I'm not really seeing too many notables. Yeah, they beat the Bucs, but it looks like they caught the Bucs on a bad week. But other than that, the Bears don't really have any major notable wins. And the Titans, I mean, the Titans, I mean, I'm not a huge believer in them either, but I just feel like that they're a little bit better this year than they were last year, considering they're running the same type of program. I just got a little bit of more faith in Tennessee than I do Chicago. Who's at home?
The Titans.
Yeah, that even goes for my case even more. So I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Dude, I cannot believe how bad that is, dude. Like I've watched for whatever reason a lot of Bears games that have just been on TV and they're just awful. I mean,
Lions, Giants, Falcons, Panthers.
This is the last time I'm picking the Bears. If they get blown out
that's
again,
who they've beaten.
I'm not gonna pick them anymore.
And the Bucs.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good game. It could toss up either way. The Bears defense is good enough to keep them in games, but Nick Foles is just god awful. So wouldn't be surprised. What's the next game you got?
The next game is the Ravens at the Colts, and this game is on CBS. Is AFC versus AFC matchup. The Colts are at home. This game's actually the line's even.
Really?
The Colts are 5-2. The Ravens are 5-2.
Dude,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
The Colts have been very impressive this year. Their defenses, I think they have one of the best defenses in the league this year. Their linebacker Darius Leonard is really good. They have really good secondary. They have a really good up front. They have DeForest Buckner, who's holding the line there. They have Kenny Moore. They have a good defense. I watched their games a couple of times, and their whole team's down. Like, they have a really good run defense. They have a really good pass defense. The Colts defense is very good this year, and it's really shocked me. Their offense, it's average. Their offense is average. I know Philip returns the ball. I think he has 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions this season. So he's it's not good, but I mean, they did put up 41 points, I believe, against the freaking Lions, but that's not saying much. The Ravens, they're coming off a horrible loss to the Steelers. They did lose Ronnie Stanley. That's a huge loss to their offensive line for the entire season. I think Marlon Humphrey's he has COVID, so he's not playing this week. So that's a huge loss as well. And I am so tempted to take the upset here because the Colts are at home. They have a really good defense, and I think their defense can actually shut down Lamar because their defense is fast and quick. And I don't know if Lamar can throw on this really good Colts pass defense. And I'm going to take the Colts at home. I'm going to do it because the Colts, their defense has been winning them games. Lamar, I know that the Ravens are 5-2, but if you look at their wins, they haven't really been beating good teams.
Yeah.
They haven't really been beating good teams. Like, I'm gonna look at their wins. They beat who they beat? They beat the Browns. They're fine. They're not really that good. I know they're 5-3, but they've been beating up bad teams as well. They beat the Texans. They lost to us. They beat the Washington football team. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Eagles. And they lost. The only quality win was really the Browns. And they haven't really been playing good teams either. So I think the Colts could upset them here. And I'm going to pick the upset at home in Indianapolis. I'm going to pick the Colts at home in a close game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that this game can be summed up in 2 words. And those 2 words are Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers he's going to suck. I mean, I think that
the Ravens don't really have a really good pass rush.
Oh, it doesn't matter, dude. He'll just say fuck it and throw it up into triple coverage. That's how bad he is.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Lamar can Lamar throw on this Colts defense?
He doesn't need to, dude. I think he can run. I honestly think the Ravens win this game by 2 touchdowns. I think the Colts, maybe you can look at who they've played, but they haven't really played great teams either.
No, they haven't. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. But neither team really hasn't played good games.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, the Ravens are motivated. The Colts, in my opinion, they're a quarterback away. And Philip Rivers is not that quarterback. So
I agree.
I'll take the Ravens in a 2-touchdown win, just because the Colts, I got Philip Rivers. That's it.
I'll take the Ravens in a win. I don't think the Ravens are going to blow them out or anything like that, but I think the Ravens will win convincingly. I'm just not a believer in Philip Rivers. Never have been, never will be. Colts defense is good. I'm looking at these scores. Their defense is definitely good from a percentage-wise. But I don't know, man. I think Lamar is just poised to have himself a decent game.
If the Ravens lose this game, what do you guys say?
They suck.
Oh, well, if they lose, then haha.
If I was a betting, I'd put money on the Ravens. If the line's even, I don't understand.
Oh yeah, I would totally bet this game if the line's even.
It's even for a reason because they probably don't really. It's probably because the Colts defense. I can't trust Lamar throwing like 250 because on this Colts defense, I could see him running around, but who is he really throwing to? I mean, he can't throw the ball deep. His accuracy's not there. Um, the Colts defense knows what he's gonna do. Obviously, he's gonna run around and try to make a play. I mean, I feel like at least Phillip Rivers. I know he turns the ball over a lot, but at least he can throw. He can throw downfield.
Can he throw downfield accurately though? That's the problem. I mean, dude, his decision making is not good.
I mean, he can throw downfield more accurately than the Lamar at least. I mean,
That's
yeah, I'll take that any day. But he just needs to limit the turnovers because, I mean, I feel like Phillip Rivers will turn the ball over a couple times, but he will make some plays on this Ravens defense that is not healthy at the moment.
Yeah.
I think there are a couple players on. The only reason why the line's even because I think a couple of the Ravens players on defense might not play this weekend. That's why.
Okay, so Urag and I took the Ravens and you took the Colts. What's the next game?
Lions at Vikings. This is a CBS game. This is an NFC matchup. This is a division matchup. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. The Lions, they are still inconsistent as usual. Their defense isn't really that good. They lost Kenny Golladay. Don't know how long he'll be out for. But I think Matthew Stafford, I think he's on the COVID injured list or some shit like that. But I don't know if he's going to play. But still, even if he plays, who cares? I got the Vikings winning this game because Dalvin Cook is going to run all over them. I don't think Kirk Cousins.
Of Dalvin Cook, that man got 44 points against me in fantasy. 44 points. That's why I lost the week. So I mean, didn't they? The Vikings beat the Packers too, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't think the Vikings. Wait, I don't think the Lions will beat the Vikings in this game.
I can't see it either. I really can't.
Cousins is going to hand the ball like a game manager ass quarterback that he is to Dalvin Cook, and Dalvin Cook going to eat. Period.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I got the Vikings at home.
Yeah, I think we both got the Vikings. What do you think, you have?
I think all three of us do. The Lions are right back to what they used to be, which is just shit.
They just reverted. I picked the Lions last week, and you know what they did? They failed me.
I picked them too.
To their old selves.
They're back to their old self.
Oh man! All right, so we all took the Vikings.
Yeah. So I got next game is the Giants at Washington. The Giants are 1-7, no brainer. The Washington football team 2-5 in the NFC East shit ass division. So the division matchup. Both teams are shit, but if I have to choose one, I'll choose Washington. At least their coaches. At least Ron Rivera is a better head coach than fucking Joe Judge, but I guess it's too early to tell, really, from Joe Judge, really, because it's only his first year there. But I'm going off experience, and I'm going to pick the Washington football team because they're at home, and they just have a better defense. Well, I'm not going to say they have a better defense. Giants' defense is actually okay this season. Their offense is the one that's holding them back. But who cares? I got the Washington football team at home. Can't really say much.
This is what we call a shitty good game.
Yeah.
Two bad teams going up against each other. Call me crazy. I think the Washington football team, Washington Redskins, I don't give a fuck what you call them. I think they could win that division. That's how bad it is.
I really think they could.
I think they win this week. The only thing that would really make me think about picking would be that they played the Bucs very well. But the Washington football team. Wait, no, did the Giants beat them earlier this year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Give me the Washington football team.
That's their one win, and I think the Washington football team should have won that game too because the way they were playing was just absolutely funny to me.
Yeah.
What do you got, Urang?
The Giants are trash.
I mean,
so
they did
bad.
compete. They did compete last week, but Daniel Jones literally threw the game away.
I live here in New York, and these people are so bummed out. And they look at me, and they're so jealous. Because I always have a Chiefs hat on. But if I had to pick a team, because let's be honest, this is the NFC East. This is just a big garbage can full of just dumpster crap.
Yeah.
But I would probably go with Washington. I know what I know, and I've seen what I've seen from the Giants, and they are just hot garbage right now. And Washington can be quietly good at times.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, they have their moments where they're just really, really quietly good, and they win a game in a really convincing way. And what better team to do it against than one of the worst teams in the league, the good old New York Football Giants. So I'll take Washington.
Yeah. They're the 2.5 point favorites, anyways. Got the Texans and Jaguars. Both teams are 1-6, but I think the Texans are a better 1-6 team in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't need to say much. Gardner Minshew, he's a backup at best. They're Jacksonville Jaguars. They're definitely in the running of looking for a QB this offseason. Not much to be said here. Texans will win in a meaningless game, really. So yeah, I've got the Texans.
Give me the Texans as well. When you were talking about Gardner Minshew, for whatever reason this came up in my mind. Did you hear the Jets are going to stick with Darnold, or at least that's what we've heard? I don't know if that's true, and they might just be telling him that so he doesn't get his hopes like just down in the dumps or something. But like they're tanking, and they might pass up on Trevor Lawrence, which means that whoever gets the second pick is going to basically be fighting for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if they're just saying that and they're full of shit. I mean, they very well take.
They're probably full of shit.
Yeah, probably.
They're full of shit. Only a dumbass. Actually, yeah, only a dumbass would pass up on, like, unless if you don't need a quarterback like the Houston Texans and they end up with the first overall pick, then yes, I understand passing up Trevor Lawrence because you don't need him. But you would take the second best option, which is like maybe like a wide receiver or a defensive player or something. But yeah, that's just idiotic by the Jets organization. You're tanking. You're literally tanking, and you're telling us that you're not going to take. You're sticking with your quarterback.
The Jets thing to do, dude. That's just
they're probably going to trade him anyways for assets or a pick.
Oh.
They're probably going to trade him to either Pittsburgh when Ben Roethlisberger retires, most likely, because he's literally 1 injury away from getting retired. So
the Jets just run a business called Misery Incorporated.
Basically,
that's all it is over there.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, the Texans are favored by 7. I picked the Texans. Who do you got, Rag?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Jets for some reason. You're talking about the Texans and the Jaguars. Sorry, yeah. I was spacing out. I mean, I gotta have faith in the Texans, to tell you the truth, based on the fact that they don't have Bill O'Brien anymore. Minshew mania is over.
Oh my goodness.
Who's at home?
The Jags.
Oh.
I'm still gonna go with Houston. They can score a lot of points, even though their defense is trash. I'm just not really a believer in Jacksonville.
Yeah, me too.
I would go with Houston.
Yeah.
Next game is this is a division game, an AFC West division game. Raiders at Chargers. Raiders are 4-3. Chargers are 2-5. This is gonna be on Fox. It's actually an even matchup. Don't know why it's an even matchup, but I am gonna go with the Raiders here. They have Derek Carr is impressing me this season. He can throw the deep ball. They can run the ball really well with Josh Jacobs. I still think their defense is trash, but their defense has moments as well. Like John Gruden has this team always ready to play on Sunday. See, the Raiders, for some reason, they're a team that can beat you like on their good days, and then they can lay the egg on the next day.
Weird, dude. That's just the
They can beat like a team like the Chiefs on a good day, and then they can lose to a shitty ass team like the fucking Jets on another day. That's who the Raiders are, and they'll probably win. And I'm gonna pick them to win this game because the Chargers are just too inconsistent for me. And they keep blowing leads. So until I feel like they might fire Anthony Lynn before the season ends because this defense is blowing leads for some strange reason. They're gonna fire Anthony Lynn first before they let go before he destroys Justin Herbert's football career. Because Justin Herbert's really good. He played really good that game, and I have no idea what the hell the Chargers defense was doing. And they blew that game for him. He played well. And I think Justin Herbert's going to play well against the Raiders as well, but I think John Gruden will have his team ready to play, and I think the Raiders will win.
Dude, first off, shout out to LA Original for the pain that he is about to endure. This man has to sit back every week, watch his team get up in a game, and then just crumble.
Because look, the Chargers are going to be up in this game, and they're going to blow it.
And it's no fault of Justin Herbert either. It's just for whatever reason that terrible defense just they can't stop anything. I think that they choke in Charger fashion. I think they need to get rid of Anthony Lynn, get rid of their offensive coordinator, literally just bring in a new coaching staff for Herbert. But I think the Chargers will get up in this game. The Raiders will come back, and we'll have another sad LA Original. What do you think, Greg?
I think LA Original's going to have his day. Chargers win.
Ooh, okay.
He's going to be feeling great, and this is going to be his crown jewel for the season. I'll be rooting for him because I know he hates the Raiders a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll give this one to him. I'll give him that. I'll put all my faith into the Chargers this week.
All right. So what's the next game we got?
The next game is the Steelers at the Cowboys. Steelers are 7-0. Cowboys are 2-6.
Kidding me, dude.
This is pretty obvious.
This is the AFC NFC matchup on CBS 425. I believe Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are calling this game.
Yeah, this is a legacy game.
Pittsburgh 14.5 and a half points favorite.
They're gonna be talking about Staubach and fucking Bradshaw, all the old guys.
I'm gonna pick the upset. Psych.
Okay, I was about to lose my mind.
Psych, you guys really thought. But although the Steelers are notorious of losing games like this, I mean, in the Mike Tomlin era, they've been losing games to shitty-ass teams. I mean, I'm not picking it. I am not picking it.
Watch the Cowboys actually win this game.
But I mean, the Steelers are notorious of losing to shitty-ass teams that they're not supposed to lose to. Will I pick the Cowboys to win? No. Will I think they'll be competitive somewhat in this game? Sure. Because, I mean, they were competitive last week. I know that's not saying much because the Eagles' offense is god-awful.
Oh, dude.
But they were competitive, okay? They were competitive. I mean, you can only do so much with Ben DiNucci at the helm.
He not playing either. He got benched.
He got benched. So he's not good enough.
I don't even think this game is really worth talking about, dude.
It really isn't. I'm going to pick the Steelers, but yeah, the Steelers would probably blow them out. Who am I? I don't know why I'm talking about close game and shit like that.
Give me the Steelers by 28 points.
Yeah, the Steelers will win.
They'll cover the spread and then some.
But at some point, the Steelers, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you know the Steelers, they're notorious of losing to shitty-ass teams.
That's true.
They are. But I'm not gonna pick it. Not the Cowboys. The Cowboys are too bad.
Dare we
Yeah,
ask you?
I'm gonna pick the Steelers to win. I don't need to talk about this game. I feel like I've talked about this game for too long, so I'm picking the Steelers.
Steelers, enough said.
Yeah, I'll go with Pittsburgh. I mean, it'll be funny if Dallas wins. It'll be really funny if Dallas wins, but I don't think they're gonna. Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Was it a Sunday night game?
No, it's a 4:25 p.m.
God, that would have been a terrible Sunday night football game.
So the next game is Dolphins at Cardinals. Dolphins are 4-3. Cardinals are 5-2.
I go with Arizona at face value.
This game's on CBS. This is the AFC NFC matchup, and I am going to pick the Arizona Cardinals because I love what Cliff Kingsbury is doing. I like how Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are having a good season together in their first year together. This Arizona Cardinals defense is really good. It's underrated. They have weapons. I like Kenyon Drake, and I like them to beat the Dolphins at home. Although the Dolphins have been very good this season, surprisingly, I thought they were still rebuilding, but they're 4-3, and it looks like they're not there yet, but they'll be competitive this year. But this is one of those games that the Arizona Cardinals need more than the Dolphins, and I think Tua will struggle in this game a little bit because the Dolphins did get lucky last year with some fumbles taken back to the house, and then they got what did they get? A punt return too, so they got their points off of that. Tua didn't really do much. He had a touchdown and interceptions.
Tua,
so I think the Cardinals will be more careful with the ball in this game, and I think the Cardinals will win this game at home against the Dolphins.
I think this game, I was very disappointed with how Tua played last week. He was not very good.
No, he didn't look good at all.
Yeah.
I know that defense and special teams carried him, but against the Cardinals can put up points. And I think that it would be kind of dumb to pick the Dolphins until I see what Tua can do.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Dolphins until I see what Tua will do because the Dolphins literally won that game off of defense and special teams last week.
Yeah.
I agree. The Cardinals are more of an on the up and up kind of team as of recently, compared to the last couple of years where they felt like more of a beat down team. Where this year they just have more poise. I just feel like Miami gave up a while ago. Now they're more.
Though.
I still feel like Miami is more of a test facility.
I mean, I will say they're better than the Patriots this year.
Damn.
Yeah, the Patriots are just funny. They make me laugh. But yeah, I'll go with Arizona. I like Kyler Murray. He's got style.
Yeah,
he's got some swagger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like what the Cardinals are doing this season. I really do.
So we all picked the Cardinals. This is the next game.
Saints at Buccaneers, Sunday Night Football. Saints are 5-2. Buccaneers are 6-2.
This is good.
Bucks at home.
Yeah, Bucks at home. I'm going to pick the Buccaneers because I like what I'm seeing with Tom Brady. Although they had a scare on Monday night, that was a trap game, but we all knew that they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
But I like how the defense is playing. I like how Tom Brady has his. I think they're in rhythm right now. He has Scotty Miller. He has.
Do you know if AB's playing this week?
I think he's playing this week.
AB's
playing this week.
Oh no!
I think Rob he has Rob Gronkowski. The connection is there. He has Mike Evans. He has Chris Godwin. He has Antonio Brown, who was signed last week. So I don't know how the Saints defense is going to stop this bad Saints defense. Surprisingly, this year is going to stop this Buccaneers offense. I mean, Drew Brees is going to the Buccaneers defense is just, they only have two plays to worry about on the Saints offense. Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, if he decides to play this week. I don't know. So the Buccaneers have their work cut. The Buccaneers defense has their work cut out for them, while the Saints defense don't. And I just don't see Drew Brees and the short passing game will be enough to beat this Buccaneers high-octane offense. And Tom Brady can still throw the deep ball deep. And I like what I'm seeing with the Buccaneers. They're my Super Bowl pick, and I'm going to stick by that until barring any injuries or something. So I got the Buccaneers at home.
Dude, since I just found out that AB's playing, watch AB have 12 catches for like 150 yards. Like Tom Brady loves that man. So, I mean, Saints defense is pretty bad. Bucks look like a more complete team. Give me the Bucks with AB and Tom Brady having big games.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are about to go off. I think you're about to see what you thought you were going to see last year with Antonio Brown on the Patriots with Tom Brady. But then all that drama happened, and, he got kicked off the team, and they cut him, and all this happened, and that happened, and yada, yada, yada. But now, finally, you're going to see it. So it's kind of hard to pick against the Bucks at home, considering how well they've been playing lately. So I guess I gotta go with TB12.
I don't like doing that, but I gotta go with them as well.
Yeah, gut check.
So final game of the week.
Okay,
we got the Patriots at the Jets.
Are you shitting me? Is that the Monday night game?
Yeah, dead ass.
Oh,
that's funny.
God.
That's entertaining.
It's been horrible. But
it's like you don't even need to pick the winner. It's like, all right, the Monday night football game is Patriot Jets. Dun, 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 dun. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh
you
man,
guys gonna hate me for this, but I smell it. I smell an upset here. I know the Jets are horrible.
I smell shit.
Go
ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
This Patriots defense has not been looking good. They have not been looking good at all this season.
No.
I think they're getting exposed. They've been exposed recent weeks. I feel like the Jets can actually, if this is okay. I don't think the Jets will go 0-16. It's really hard for a team to go 0-16.
I'm trying to go 0-16.
I don't care how bad your team is. It's so hard to go 0-16. Even games, like, you got to be competitive in some.
It has happened.
I know it happens twice, but it's not like they're getting blown out every week. They were competitive in those games. Like, man, you're a professional football player. You have to at least win one game. If this is any game the Jets are fucking gonna win, this game this week, they're at home facing a mediocre team at best. Because Cam Newton, he's not any better. I mean, you really think Cam Newton is better than Sam Darnold right now? Like,
it's hard to tell.
No.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
I didn't think Cam was going to be a world beater, but I'll be honest, I didn't think he was going to throw 3 friggin' interceptions in a game.
Both teams don't have weapons. Both teams actually don't have weapons, actually. They have 0 weapons. This is a toss-up to me. I don't know why New England's favored by 8.5 points, in my opinion.
I'm going to go with the Patriots.
I mean, I want to pick the upset, but I can't.
What's the Patriots' record?
They're 2-5.
Wow,
oh, man.
Wow.
I mean, I could see the Jets upsetting. Could you guys see the Jets upsetting here?
It ain't over till it's over.
I could be wrong, but dude, I think the Patriots win this game with Bill Belichick and his quarterback, dude. I seriously don't think
so do I. I think this is a bad spot to pick an upset.
I was going to pick it, but nah, I can't.
There's better upsets you can go after.
I'm gonna pick the Patriots, but hear me out. I don't think the Jets will go 1-16. They gotta win a game. Let me look at their schedule, because I mean, can't go 1-16. You're too good.
They're not too good. I think they're.
Jets. Okay, so face the Chargers next week.
Yo, that game might get upset. I could see it. Dude, if that happens, LA Original's going to break shit. It's just going to have to happen. He's going to lose his mind.
You will.
Yeah, okay, so the Jets face the Chargers, Dolphins, then Raiders, then Seahawks, then Rams, then Browns, then Patriots.
Their schedule's not kind to them, dude. It's not.
I know, and this is scary. I don't want the Jets to go 0-16. I mean, it'll be funny. Another 0-16 team. Oh my god.
I can't see them winning a game until they can prove to me that they're going to win one. I'm going to pick against them.
That Bills game was close. Ooh, not gonna lie. A couple weeks
They
ago.
haven't won a game yet.
Nah. Do you think they'll win a game? I'm looking at their schedule. It's looking like they might not win a game. Oh my god, they're actually that bad.
Yeah, let me look at it and see if this is even possible.
But I got the Patriots winning, man. Won't be surprised if the Jets win.
I'd be shocked, dude. I'd genuinely be shocked.
I wouldn't.
There's definitely the Chargers. There's the Dolphins. That's it. The Chargers and the Dolphins.
All right, so you're telling me if they lose those games, they're going
I think. Yeah. I mean, if the Jets can't beat the Chargers or the Dolphins, I don't see them beating the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Browns, or the Patriots. Especially considering the Patriots will be at home the next time. Like the Jets need to win now. The Jets right now, like either this game or the next two games. The Jets are definitely going 0-16. I would call up Vegas after the Miami game with 5 games to go. And I'd be like, I want to put my house on the Jets going 0-16. Nah, I'm just kidding.
That's true.
But they do suck. They are bad.
They do.
I've been telling my dad all year, put all your money on whoever's playing the Jets, because my dad likes to gamble a little bit. He likes to bet on football. And he comes to me for advice. And I always tell him, I'm like, you got to identify the team immediately as soon as possible who's going to be the shittiest damn team in the league. And you just want to put all your money on whoever the hell's playing them every week. And I think by like week 2 or week 3, you could pretty much tell that the Jets were just like nothing.
Yeah.
And my dad's been making a fortune off of it.
That's good to hear. I can't believe that the lines haven't changed. I don't know why anybody's picking the Jets. I don't think that's happening now, but
actually, I could see some people picking the Jets over the Patriots.
Dude, they're getting the first game they lost by 10. The first game they lost by 16. Then they lost by 30. Then they lost by 9. Then they lost by 20. Then they lost by 24. Then they lost by 8. Then they just lost to us by 20-something.
We beat them by what? Like 25 plus?
Yeah. So, like, you have to just think about an average line for a Jets game. If they're constant, if 6
points.
Yeah. But the Jets on average are getting beat by 10 plus points a game. Sometimes 20 points a game. So, I mean, you just look at the line for the Jets, and if it's anywhere under 10, like if it's 7, it's like, all right, I'm taking whoever's playing the Jets because, I mean, they're definitely going to lose by more than 7.
Jets are just a bad pick. I don't know why you'd gamble in favor of the Jets. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it all depends upon what the point spread is.
Yeah.
Like, let me look it up.
I don't even know what they're not. It's an 8. Oh man, yo, honestly, the Jets.
What is it? Let me look at it.
Didn't you say it was 8.5 against the Patriots? I think they could cover the spread, maybe. The Patriots' offense isn't good. That's the thing. I'm not sure. Really not.
Las Vegas odds. Come on, let me get my spreads. Oh wow, it tells you a bunch of different spreads. But anyway, 7.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8. So we'll just say it's 8. I would totally take the Patriots.
Yeah, me too. I would.
Based on all the scores that I just told you from all those Jets games.
Yeah.
They're literally losing games on average by like 2 touchdowns. There was like one game in there where it was like, I think they lost by like 8 points or 7 points, but most of the games they're losing are like by 10 points, 15 points, 20 points. I mean, look what the Chiefs just friggin' did. Why would you not take New England?
Yeah, that's a good point.
On Monday night at the Meadowlands? Cam, I mean, is Cam going to play or is it going to be Stidham?
If Stidham's playing, I'm taking the Jets. Period.
Really?
If Stidham is playing, I would take the Jets with the money line, but I still think the Patriots would win. The Jets are bad, man. They're bad.
You can't pick the Jets, dude. Like
the question is would you put money down on the Jets losing by more than 8.5 points? Okay, can you see the Patriots winning by 10?
Yeah, I can.
A touchdown and a field goal.
I can.
I can see the Patriots killing them.
I could also see the Jets covering the point spread, though. I could see it coming either way. Smart, like I wouldn't bet in the Jets' favor, but maybe
if you can find a pool somewhere where you could just bet this game straight up, I would take the Patriots all day long. But that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a family pool or something you do at work or something like that, But any serious person who's going to bet money on a game like this, they're going to want a point spread. And 8.5 is honestly like very modest for a Jets game.
It really is. Yeah.
The spread on this game should be 10.5. Because then it's like, ooh, maybe I want to take the Jets.
Yeah, Jets are a bad team, but we're almost 2.5 hours in. I think we'll go up. We might wrap up this stream, but before we do it, why don't we go around the horn and we can give your final thoughts. So, Chiefs Palace, what do you think, just in general?
I think that. You mean like about our game or
whatever? I mean, got any closing thoughts?
I think the Chiefs should win this game, but like you said, Andy Reid is notorious for losing games that he's not supposed to win. So it wouldn't surprise me if we lose, but I think we're gonna win this game. So
yeah.
All
right, Ureg, how about you?
Well, my thoughts on this game are right here.
2 bye weeks.
Last week it was 3 bye weeks.
You get another one.
So, yeah, I'm not really too worried, man. I think we're going to win. I mean, they have a good running game. This should be a good game for tape, depending upon how well they use this McCaffrey guy. Chiefs' run defense is typically a complaint. So we'll see how well that does. But, I expect Mahomes to have a good day. Bell, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all the receivers. The defense should eat pretty well through the air. The Chiefs have a very, very, very good pass defense. Very, very quietly. Mm-hmm. Nobody really knows that. Shh, quiet. But the Chiefs have like a top 5 like pass defense. It's pretty good to know about that. Chris Jones ain't gonna play, right?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think he is actually.
I would sit his ass down.
I would too.
Well, whatever's clever. If I knew everything, then I would be in the Chiefs clubhouse right now. So I trust the people running the ship.
Mhm.
Keep your head up. Make your money. Try to go to work. Chiefs Kingdom, baby.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cheers.
I basically everything that you said I think is gonna happen, and I really appreciate you guys coming by. It's good
Sure
to see
thing, brother.
you. Chiefs Palace, where can the people find you?
I got an Instagram page. It's like literally my username, Chief Palace. So, yeah.
Yep, you can follow him on Instagram at Chiefs Palace. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at KC_sports report. I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. We're really close on 3,500 subscribers. I think we'll hit it either tomorrow or the next day. And I appreciate everybody for coming out, and have a great rest of your Friday night. I'll see you guys Sunday.
Later.
Later.